I'm revisiting the site where the silt from Peel Marina is being stored. This caused controversy initially when silt was spilled on the road and German commissioners condemned a lack of consultation. But now Peel commissioners have endorsed the operation and we're here to find out a little bit more about it. First of all, I have to ask you, there's been a lot of talk about the nature of this silt. What's in it? Is it just basically mud from the harbour bed, or is there something toxic in there? Can you answer that question first?
No, the actual materials from the harbour bed. It's washed down through the river itself into the actual harbour and then has just settled down in the actual harbour.
So there's nothing toxic here, is there?
No, there's no toxic in this at all.
And what's happening? How are you treating it?
It's been placed in the storage facility here, obviously for temporary, until the new landfill is actually found. Once we find the new landfill, which is for hazardous waste, then we can actually place the material back in there. And obviously the Minister's made a commitment on that one.
So you say the waste isn't toxic and yet it's going to be moved to a hazardous landfill?
No, the waste is not toxic and it'll be going to a fully engineered landfill that we will be building in the next 4 to 5 years.
So what does the operation involve here? I mean, we see the trucks coming up, they're dumping the silt here in this giant pit, and what happens to it then?
The wagons actually drive into the site and are actually placing the material into a bunded area, and the material then is placed in by a long-reach 360 excavator. So we're not dumping it in, we're actually placing it into the site and actually moving it around to the site itself.
And then what do you do with it? We were looking at it earlier being tapped down to release the water from it.
Yes, the actual material, when you actually tap the material, the water will rise to the top and then run down to the bottom corners of the site. At the moment what happens is the actual material, the water is settling down into the material. There is two pipes on the site itself which are visqueen coated under, and over the top is terram and actually gravel, and this acts as a soakaway with perforated pipes. It goes into 6 settlement lagoons and each one is tested as it's going through to the actual last lagoon, and if it's all correct then we'll actually put it out to the actual river, which will then go back down into the actual neb again.
So then the silt will be stored in one place ready to move?
Yes, that's it. This is stored in 6 cells within the actual site, and it's going to be settled here until with the actual movement of the next material.
It's changed a lot since the last time we were here. How far through the operation are you?
This is now the 4th week of the operation that we've been running, and it's about 4,500 tonne in the actual site up to now.
And how much will there be at the end?
The approximate they said is 18,000 tonne, but we'll see at the end of this, because I'm not sure the estimate as well. It's not rising as much as we actually thought.
And then it will all be moved. How will it then be moved?
Once we've actually closed the site down, it'll be visqueened over and obviously covered over. Once the actual material is required to be moved to the new site, then it will actually be dug back out of the site, placed on wagons and then transported again. But it'll be dry material by then.
One of the concerns from German commissioners was that this was a field before this started. Will it go back to that?
It will be. It'll be restored back into a field.